Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what just happened, guys. I don't know. The mic wasn't working. Hopefully I'm not blowing out your eardrums. Let me know if I am. I don't know why our mic keeps coming in hot. But what is going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys tuned in right now, watching the Frankie Candles live stream. There's a lot of things you could be doing with your time, but you chose to spend it here with your boy Frankie Candles and the Candle Mafia. But guys, oh baby, Bitcoin, absolutely ripping. Now, guys, we did come down to some pretty key levels of support that we've been looking at for quite some time on the channel. Digital Pencil in the chat says, Frankie, I love you. I love you back. Digital Pencil, shout out to you, man. That's Steven from The Office. Shout out to Steven. We love you. I just saw the pencil. I didn't even see the name. I just saw the pencil. I knew it was you, bro. But guys, Bitcoin doing some absolutely nutty things right now, getting a big bounce to the upside. Everybody's freaking out. What is going on? Are we going to come back down, or are we going to 100K? And I'll be honest, I think we could hit 100K within the next couple of days, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just joking. That was a joke. Somebody's going to clip that, and or someone's going to tune in, watch the first 30 seconds of the live stream, and they're going to say Frankie Candle said 100K in the next couple of days. But guys, I'm going to be breaking down everything on today's stream. We're going to be taking a look at some of the things we were looking at yesterday. As you guys know, there were some really key levels of support that we were looking at that, if broken, were kind of where we were going to flip a little bit bearish. We were looking for a lower high to come in, which is still on the table. I just want to let everybody know. It doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to get it, right? But it is still on the table. So I just want to let you guys know we'll be taking a look at that, where I would expect, kind of the line in the sand, right? Like, where can we put a lower high in? Because there are some levels I'm looking at that if we break, I won't be looking for that lower high anymore because it won't be physically possible. So I'm going to be talking about those levels that, if broken, kind of we would have to maintain bullish sentiment, right? Not flip bearish. But guys, we have a lot to look at today. Yeah, I wanted to say, we're probably going to go the full length here, guys, tonight, because there is a whole 100K tomorrow. Yes, we're going to be rich. Let's go. Shout out to Jonah Plainclothes. But yeah, guys, we got a lot to look at. We're going to be checking in on the 200-week moving average. You guys will remember we talked about that yesterday. And we actually talked about what I'm looking at on the 200-week, right? As we broke that 200-week moving average, it's funny because I put out that bull run video, right? That said, bull run confirmed, ? Right? Some people ignore the question mark. It's an investigative video looking at, is the bull run here, right? Or is it approaching, right? Is it confirmed, right? Is the bottom in, and are we approaching the halving? All that kind of stuff. But I was talking about it on the morning show today. People love to just headline read. There were a couple of comments on the video this morning that were like, this aged well. And I'm like, in that video, we talked about potentially double bottoming at 15K. How is the video invalidated, right? But you guys saw me talking about that on the BitBoy Crypto channel. I'm not going to bring it up here. But guys, I do want to talk because as we started losing that 200-week moving average yesterday, everybody was like, oh my God, like, we're going to lower lows, which I don't know why people automatically think that. But we were talking about a possibility of breaking that 200-week moving average and maybe even coming even lower than we have, potentially down to that $23,000 level, for that technical breakdown target of the head and shoulders. And, we could drop down there, and as long as we pump back up by the end of the week and close the weekly candle above that 200-week moving average, that would be mega bullish in my opinion. So we were looking at that yesterday. I want to check it in on the 200-week today, see if we're back above it on the weekly. Granted, we still have plenty of time to break it again, so keep that in mind. But I want to take a look at that, and then I kind of want to show you guys, again, that line in the sand where I will be looking for, there's some very specific situations. So I kind of want to talk about like the two different situations that I see potentially happening and how I'm handling my trading plan, right? Shout out to Brad Guidell saying not Rob's birthday. I thought Rob's birthday was every day. Am I out of the loop here? Shout out to Brad Guidell. Yeah. And guys, thank you for answering our poll. This is actually one of the most important polls that we've ever had on the show. I don't know what happened here, guys. Breakout or fake out, yes or no? Sometimes I scramble and I don't even know what happened. I'm pretty sure I wrote the answers in there, but they just like defaulted. I don't even know. But thank you for answering the poll anyway, guys. That made absolutely no sense. But for some reason, I feel like if you answered yes, you thought this was an actual breakout. Or I guess I probably think you think it was a fake out because that was the last thing. Breakout or fake out? Yeah, the last one, fake out. But thanks for partaking in that poll, guys. Sorry that that didn't wind up making any sense. I'm going to go ahead and end that right now because I'm horrifically embarrassed. But anyway, guys, before we jump into the charts, again, we have a lot to look at. But before we jump into the charts, let's go ahead and see who we got up in here in chat. Shout out to the CandleMafia. We got Kevin's awake. Hey, Kevin. Well, if you weren't awake, you are now because you got Frankie Candle screaming in your ear. I love the comments. Hey, man, great video. Like, they're supportive. Great video. Great information. I loved it. But question, why are you screaming? And to that I answer, I don't know. That's just how I am. But continuing on, shout out to Kevin's awake. What is going on? A lot of people who got wrenched came to join the Mafia yesterday. Wait, a lot of people who got wrenched. What does that even mean? A lot of people got wrenched came to join the CandleMafia yesterday when they saw the red candle. A green candle shows up, and they're nowhere to be seen. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Shout out to Kevin's awake. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. We got Angela. What is going on, Angela? Shout out to you. She says, Hey, Frankie, this news makes me wonder if I should put my Matic and Cardano all in ETH and Bitcoin, since those two seem to be the biggest coins. Interesting. I'm actually going to be talking about that a little bit today, guys. You have to realize that a lot of people have money in these altcoins that have been that are being come after, that are being attacked. Right? But you have to think about this. A lot of these people may wind up converting their alts into Bitcoin and ETH, which could potentially cause a pump to the upside. I don't know if that is why we're pumping here. In my eyes, as a technical trader, the reason we bounced here was because we came down to a key level of support, and we did get some bullish confirmations that we were looking at in the premium Discord, and I did get a nice long setup put in the Discord at this key level of support. Only problem is, I posted it, and when I went back to enter the trade myself, price had already ripped up a bit, so I waited for a re-entry, and like I always say, you win some, you lose some, and sometimes you miss it. And I missed my entry on this one, guys, and I am pissed. But we're going to be talking about that all in just a second, guys. Shout out to Gazgano, says, bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Flat Smack. Speaking of Flat Smack, go ahead and flat smack that like button, guys. If you like the content, if you learned something on this live stream the last time you were here, smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure, where we have multiple chances to win some giveaways, and we do give away some of those free premium memberships to the premium Discord, where you could have seen the long setup and hopefully not have missed your entry like I did. Or maybe this was one case where if you were to FOMO in, you only would have lost about 1% of gains out of 7%. So you would have got a 6% move instead of a 7% move. But that is just the game, the way the game works, guys. I would rather miss a move than, 9 out of 10 times, if you go to chase that move, you're going to get wrecked. This is the one time that it winds up, FOMOing would have worked out. But again, not a great long-term strategy. You'll wind up getting wrecked in the long term. Trust me, I have tried it, guys. I'm not just saying this because I think that's the case. That I've been wrecked like that. So let's see. Shout out to SB Short Pepe. Interesting. Seems juicy. This is a fake out. Let's see. Shout out to you, man. We're going to be talking a little bit more about it. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to C. Smith. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to Dave P. And speaking of Dave P, we got to shout out Dave D. We got Dave Digital in the chat with his elite wrench. Shout out to you, man. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, LFG. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for being here. Nate Quantum Divergence, what is going on? Psychedelic Astronaut, John Davis, and last but not least, guys, we got Paul Wood, Satoshi Glakamoto, Honda Man, and Metabytes in the chat. Thank you for being here, guys. As always, happy to have you. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. Sometimes they say, hey, Frankie, you spend too much time shouting out the CandleMafia. And you know what I say? I say, hey, number one, I wouldn't be here without the CandleMafia, so why not hang out and say hi to them? They show up for me. But number two, we do 2 full hours of TA, guys. You got to break it up somehow. You got to make it fun. No one's going to sit here and watch 2 hours of just straight TA with no chat interaction. But, guys, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on. This chat makes me feel dirty on the inside. Oh, God. Shout out to SB, says the RSI on the weekly is looking more bearish, and I will be talking about some of that stuff, guys. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at this price action. Now, let's go ahead and zoom out. Now, this is the chart we were looking at yesterday, guys, and we did have some levels that we were looking at for some potential rejections. Now, rejection level number 1, not the respected. Rejection number 2, not the respected. So now I am looking up a bit higher here, guys. Closer up, the next major level of resistance I would be looking at right now, would be this value area high. And guys, I'm going to talk about the current price action first, and then we're going to go back and take a look at kind of what we were looking at yesterday and how I'm feeling about the long term. Is this pump going to continue? But first, I just want to look at the local levels and kind of what has happened since yesterday, right? Now, as you guys know, I am short from back here. I still am short. But we were looking for this to potentially be a lower high to break down to lower prices. And where were we looking to come down to? We were looking to come down to this area. This box is not fully marked out. But we were looking to basically come up to about $25,300 for our next major level of support. And that was kind of the next major area that I was willing to be looking for long positions. And again, the reason why we were, I'm not going to go over this, but we were looking for long positions at the bottom of the range here, the bottom of the range here, the bottom of the range here, and the bottom of the range here. But again, we were looking for short-term scalps to put in lower highs and then continue back to the downside. And then, I wasn't really interested in entering any fresh longs until we came down to a lower low to visit this $25,300 level between about 25.3 and about 24.8. And basically, guys, we came down to this level. Now, we didn't come down exactly to 25.3, but we came down to about 25.360, which is just shy of that level. But the reason, right, the reason why I put our long setup in the premium Discord, actually, hold up. Hang on. Let me pull this up real quick. I believe, I don't want to say it if we didn't do it, but maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Is this? Oh, yeah, this was from today. So today, shout out to, as you guys know, not only do we have the free Discord, we also have the premium Discord, and we also have the dining room, which is our freemium Discord option, which is basically, as you guys know, once a week, we wind up putting in a premium Discord, either setup or just a TA post. You get one post from the premium Discord each week, and it's just basically there so people can try out the premium Discord and see how it works and see if they like it before they actually want to spend the money on a premium product to get into the actual premium Discord. So you can kind of sit in here and try it out. You get one TA post. It's not always a setup. A lot of times, or sometimes it is just TA, but in this case, today, we posted the long setup that I was looking at earlier this morning, and basically, simple setup, right? Like, if you watch the live streams, you will have a good enough idea of how we trade to have been looking for these things, right? Now, we were looking for very specific confirmations, but essentially, this was the idea, was to wait until we got down to the blue box, and again, we talk about this on the live stream all the time, waiting to come down to that blue box at $25,300 and find some kind of signal to enter here. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the confirmations, but we did get one very clear signal that we could at least get some kind of a bounce to come in here, and that was a bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame, right? So let's pull up the chart, come on down to the 1 hour, and take a look at what we had here, right? You had your lower lows on your price, right? Lower lows on your price action with your higher lows on your momentum waves, right? And honestly, money flow never really came up. Money flow was coming up slightly, but then we just kept coming back out. But you got that bullish divergence at your key level of support. And again, amongst other confirmations, however, this was one of the main things that we were looking for, or not looking for, but that I saw on the chart that was indicating like, hey, probably going to get a bounce here. I will be honest, 100% honest, like I did not expect it to rip up this high, but this doesn't invalidate our hypothesis from yesterday, right? Now, with that being said, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that this does not mean that we can't continue to the upside, right? But the lower high is not invalidated just yet, and when it is, we will tell you, right? But essentially, guys, we were looking for potential lower highs to come in here and come in potentially right here. We were also looking at the value area low of this range as another level to potentially put in that lower high at, right? But obviously, these all got smashed, and now it does look like we are potentially flipping that point of control to support, in which case the next major level that we could be visiting would be up here at about $27,485 or $27,500. Now, this is now just we're back in our value area, right? And this is kind of going to bring me to kind of my trading plan here coming up, moving forward, right? So we got the strong bounce. This does not mean that we can't continue back to the downside. If we go ahead and turn off our TA, or actually come down to like the 10 hour so we can see some candles here. Actually, you know what I'll do? No. Is this a fresh chart? Please be a fresh chart. Let me just pull up a fresh chart here, guys, so I can kind of show you what I am looking at. Also, guys, I brought up the dining room. I didn't even mention. We also, if you guys want to get in the dining room, it's free. All you have to do is if you are signed up, which I assume probably a lot of you are, signed up for Femex, BitGet, and now we have added BingX. If you're signed up with any of these exchanges with my affiliate link, you could just come here, click on whatever exchange it is. So if you have BingX and you've been waiting to get in the dining room, but you don't have a BitGet or a Femex account, but you have BingX and you use our affiliate link, you can click here. And once you click here, you would go grab your user ID from BingX and then copy and paste it into this box. Simply hit submit and then give our mods a couple of days to give you access. And then eventually you'll get access to not only the premium TA 1 post a week, but also you'll get the altcoin gem channel, the airdrop channel that Tyler and Chemistry Bro run, and they are always dropping the newest airdrops, keeping everybody up to date, and they absolutely crush it. Shout out to them. You guys are absolutely savage, crushing that channel. And then also, guys, we have a 24/7 book map stream, so you can look at the book map if you don't want to pay for it. And also, we have a 24-hour Lux Algo stream, so you can test out Lux Algo without actually having to buy it. But obviously, if you really wanted to use the indicator, you'd probably wind up buying it eventually because you can't change time frames and settings and all that good stuff. But it's a great way to kind of test out if you like the indicator. And we actually do have a couple of time frames up there. We have 2 different time frames. But anyway, that's how you get into the dining room if you're interested. And if you were in the dining room, you would have seen that post. But again, price did move fast, right? So just keep that in mind. But anyway, taking a look here, guys, I do just kind of want to, let me go ahead and delete all this and just kind of show you, right? Like the main lower high that I am looking at to make would be pulled from this wick from up here to the bottom of the move, which is very, very, very close to where we came up to, right? So this is still a valid lower high, in my opinion. Right, I would be looking for potential rejections within this purple box between about 27.8 and 27.3. I just want to, because we talked about that yesterday, like I would expect any of these bounces to be a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high and then roll back over to the downside. This is the local golden pocket retracement and the 786 up there at 27.8. So this is still technically in play, so I just wanted to update you guys on that. I'm sure a lot of people were like, well, hey, is this, like, you guys are probably, like, someone said it in the Discord, they're like, hey, I don't think this is a lackluster bounce anymore, but technically the invalidation, in my opinion, for the lackluster bounce would be to break that 786 and then crack this high here. That would then make it a not lower high. Then eventually, you know, once we start pushing up, that would wind up giving us a higher high from here, invalidating that whole idea of coming in and getting rejected from this box. But it is still, as of right now, in play. And I want to talk to you guys, about, if this lower high does not play out, simply you change your plan, right? You want to trade a plan. This is how you become a successful trader. You trade a plan, but your plan, spoiler alert, your plan is not always going to work. So we have to be open to the idea that maybe our plan is not going to work here, and maybe we will pull up a little bit higher. And I'm going to talk a little more about that in just a second. If I think this is going to actually push to the upside, or if we are indeed likely to come back down, because there are some things on the charts that haven't really changed, right? So with that being said, indeed, here's if our plan is indeed not going to work, I would actually go ahead and extend this lower high up to the point of control, just because it's so close to that 786. I would kind of lump those together. So again, right now we are now back above. This is insane. We finally got some volatility in Bitcoin, which I absolutely love. But this is crazy. We are now back above our value area low of our macro range that we were trading in for 80 days. I don't want to be back in this range. I either want to dump or I want to rip above it. I am sick of this range. Let's at least go up and start making a new range. That would be lit. But if we do continue to come up here, look for a rejection potentially off that point of control that would, still, in my opinion, keep that kind of trade plan intact. Once we crack that POC, guys, if we start holding support up here, it's going to be very likely that we come back up to the value area high, coming in closer to about 28.9 to 29K. So we are, like, if we are accepted officially back inside this range, guys, we're simply just trading the macro range again, right? And, if we keep pumping, you're, just looking to come up to the value area high. If we come up to the value area high with bearish confirmations, we're simply just trading the range again. And the first step of trading this range, really, let me go ahead and spawn the levels here. Give me a second. There we go. If we do wind up rejecting here, I would, depending on what price looks like and what the indicators look like when we get there, if we do get a rejection here, right, and we start to come down, I would be cautious of I would be looking for some potential bullish confirmations down here at the value area low. But again, it's going to vary on what the charts look like after we actually get there, right? Because we could come down here and things could look bad, and we will be right in our assumption that this was a lower high and we are just going to come back down. Now, I want to talk about how likely I think it is that we come up much higher, right? Like that this isn't going to continue to the downside, and 25.3 was indeed our low before coming up to higher prices. Now, The number one thing, in my opinion, right now that I am looking at is going to be, number one, we do have a 16-hour bullish divergence starting to print. This is indeed a pretty strong signal, right? Higher lows on your momentum waves, lower lows on your price action. You get that bullish divergence, that closed pinch point, right? That closed alligator mouth, converging beak. I don't know. These lines would eventually intersect if you drew them infinitely, right? That is a bullish divergence with your lower lows and your higher lows. And obviously, it did wind up giving you a move to the upside. Now, this is a good start for the bulls. However, the main thing that I would be looking at now, again, looking at the daily, money flow is kind of trending to the downside. It's kind of neutral here, in my opinion. But your VWAP is coming up. Now, why does this excite me? Well, why does this excite the bull side of me, right? Right now, I am emotionally a bear because I missed my long entry down here. However, I am still in my swing long positions from down here. So it's not all a lost cause. I am, maybe I could pull these up. Let me see if I can refresh that and bring them up. So I am long, right? So I am still long from all the way down here. And here we go. Oh, come on. It just popped up. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Let's see. Let's get Gary Gensler wrecked so hard he goes into hiding. SB. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. But here we go. Let me go ahead and pull this. There you go. So I am still in these long positions, guys. This one, a little bit higher leverage, low margin here. I've already taken profits on this trade, and I have jacked up the leverage, and it in turn pulled out my margin. So I literally only have $50 in this trade, and I am in $100 of $115 of profit, plus $450 locked in. And then this is the ETH trade, only long on 4X, $1,200, almost $1,300 position, up 171, got 173 locked in. So these are still, these are green. So I'm not completely missing the party, but the problem is, like, I've been in these positions for a very long time. I really would have loved to catch that fresh trade, that nice little scalp up to this level. But guys, this is it, right? 16-hour bull div has got me, the bull inside of me a little bit excited. But the thing that would really excite me here for the bulls would be the opportunity, or the possibility, I should say. I did not mean to say opportunity. The potential possibility of putting another drive of bullish divergence in on the daily if we see this VWAP roll back to the upside and print a green dot. In my opinion, this could potentially have the power to, completely flip the money flow, right? Our 4-hour money flow now starting to come back into the red. However, look at what's going on. This 4-hour is, as of right now, locally a little bit overheated. The VWAP is absolutely overextended, starting to roll back over to the downside. And so, you have to be careful, right? Because if this starts to roll over and we start to get a dump and that VWAP prints another red dot and, we wind up printing a red dot on the 4-hour, that money flow is likely going to come back into the red, right? So this is a good sign for the bulls, but it's not over yet, right? Because that VWAP is eventually going to roll back down. We have to make sure that's not going to rip us back into the red. Now, with that being said, coming up to the 5-hour, again, this is a little bit clearer with the money flow. Some people were asking me earlier, what about the money flow, man? Like, the money flow is coming out, and it's starting to come back up again. Look at the 5-hour, right? Like, look at the 5-hour here. Money flow starting to come back up here. Now, I want to be very clear. It's not impossible for money flow to come back up here in a massive green wave, right? Like, that is not impossible, but we have already spent a lot of time in the green here. So, and if you just look here, right, like I always tell people, if you don't know, if you're having trouble trying to figure out if money flow is coming up or down, or you're seeing it cross over the zero line a bunch of times, shout out to Eric Ward. What is going on, brother? If you're having trouble figuring it out, just grab your trend line, go to the peak of money flow, click, and then go to the most recent money flow and just click again, right? Like, just make that line. Money flow is aggressively coming to the downside here. Now, yes, we are coming up locally, but you have to be prepared for this to eventually roll back over and then cross into the red, right? So this is kind of what I am looking at. Money flow on the 5-hour is still looking pretty ugly. On the 4-hour, still looking pretty ugly. Right now, again, money flow is back in the green, which could potentially be a good sign, but it's too soon. It's too soon for me to just throw in the towel and be like, money flow is back in the green, I'm long, 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 right? That is not really how I'm thinking. How I'm thinking is money flow is obviously trending to the downside, and even if this comes up a little bit, right? Like, you could still just put in another lower high and come back down into the red, right? And again, we did spend a lot of time in the green. A lot of times when you spend a good amount in the green, it might be time to come back into the red, right? But with that being said, oh God, just like scrolling back here just reminded me of how brutal this range was, guys. This was so brutal. But then we spotted that savage short squeeze right here and called it in the Discord, and that was mad fun. But, man, this was brutal. Like, we had money flow coming out. Like, this is a good, this is a good example of money flow not playing out perfectly, right? Because it's not 100%. It very rarely lies, but it's not 100%, and nothing is. I want everyone to realize that. Everybody wants to know, like, I just want the indicator that tells me that if it goes up or goes down. Like, it doesn't exist, right? You're always going to get faked out no matter what you're looking at to some degree, right? But you had money flow coming out very aggressively here. We crossed into the red, right? Then we came back up into the green. But look, we were just making lower highs, right? And then we came back down, and then we came up again, but then we went back in the red, and we were probably thinking the same thing, like, oh, it might be time to spend some time in the red. And then you came back into the green, but you're still just trending to the downside. It still looks pretty bearish, right? And then you come into the red, and then boom, short squeeze, bang, rip up to 31K. Bears are wrecked, right? So you have to realize that sometimes money flow can fake you out. Even though we spent all this time in the green, we still came up for that last little short squeeze up to 31K, and then finally we came into the red and got a significant drop, right? And we've basically been coming down since. So, with that being said, I just want to point out, right, it is possible for us to come back up in a bigger green wave. However, more often than not, you want probability on your side. More often than not, if you put in those lower highs, you will see a crossover into the red, right? So, could be bullish with that money flow, but I am not ready to just throw in the towel, on that money flow crossing over into the red. So money flow on the 4 hour is still coming out. Money flow on the 5 hour is still coming out. Take a look at the 6 hour. Money flow still coming to the downside, as you can see. It's a bug in here. How'd that get in here? Gary Ginsler flying around. But anyway, 8 hour money flow is back in the red here. However, is starting to curve back to the upside. However, got to be ready for this VWAP to potentially roll back down. And, if you really zoom in here, your money flow came up and now you're flat. You could easily see this come back out again. So keep that in mind, though. But money flow is still in the red. The only real difference here is that the 4 hour has crossed over into the green. But again, if that 4 hour rolls back over with the VWAP, you could easily come back into the red. So I'm not ready to just call, straight moonshots here. But again, major levels of resistance here, guys, is going to be this purple box here. This is where I will be looking for shorts once we crack this level. Really, the 786 endpoint of control right up here at 27,970. And that 786 at about 27,790 or 27,800. The crack of these levels, and if we hold those as support and we get above them, that is kind of the invalidation of that lower high. And in that case, I will basically just be looking again at the more macro range. And let me go ahead and pull the range. At that point, right, we come up. And we come up to the value area high. I am simply just treating this as another range. And we've absolutely been slaying this range, even though it's super boring. It makes for good range trading, right? So, again, if we are able to sustain support above that value area low, we have to assume that there is a possibility to get up to the high. But we have to get past this purple box, right? And again, I will say this. The big thing for me that would indicate that we're going to get a big move to the upside would be that daily bullish divergence. If we could print that, it's not going to happen today, in my opinion. Probably, if not today, it's probably going to happen tomorrow or the next day. But once we get that green dot on the daily, like if this VWAP was close to the 0 line and it looked like we were going to print a bullish divergence, I would probably be leaning more bullish than bearish. But again, I will flip bearish. Hey, shout out to Emax gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships and joining the Mafia himself, getting in there with a Wise Guy membership. Shout out to you, man. We appreciate you, and I know everybody that just got a free membership appreciates it. Shout out to Jonah Plainclothes. Everybody always says, I want to be a part of the Mafia. Get me in, give me a membership. How do I get the membership? Honestly, if you just hang out here long enough, you will wind up getting one of those memberships. But guys, if this daily was printed in this green dot, or looking to print this green dot tonight, I would be pretty bullish. I'm not going to lie, especially because you have the 16-hour bull div, right, already starting to give you the move up. However, That VWAP doesn't look like we're going to get the green dot today. I would think probably more likely that we get it tomorrow, but it is just something to look at, right? Let's watch this tonight, watch it tomorrow, because as long as this momentum wave doesn't come down and crack these lows, we could be putting in that bullish divergence. Again, money flow still not looking the best, though. Money flow is still trending down, right? I would like to see the money flow cruise back to the upside, but sometimes that takes time, right? So, again, I want to try to keep it I want to try to keep it somewhat organized today, right? So, number one, I just wanted to let everybody know, yesterday on the live stream, we were looking for lower highs, any bounce to be somewhat lackluster to put in a lower high and come back to the downside. Now, the levels we were looking at yesterday, I thought it would be a more likely situation to reject the value area low, but that does not invalidate the lower high. I will still be looking for rejections in this purple box, even if we come up a little bit more. My God, I just choked. But with that, you kind of deal with a little bit of it's a little bit of an issue here, right? Because I don't like trading the middle of a range, right? Because if we come up here and we start to reject, right, I would rather short here rather than come up to the point of control because I don't like trading the middle of the range. However, and the reason for that is because if we come up to that point of control, we have to think that, you're already deep in the range. You're likely accepted back into that range, and at that point, it is more likely to come up to the high. So you don't want to get into a short position if you're just going to wind up coming back up to the high. So I would just rather wait for the higher probability trade, which would be to look for shorts at the value area high of the actual range. So, with that, that's kind of why I don't like to trade the middle of the range, right? Because if you come up here, you're already within that range, and you're already kind of expecting to come to the high. So I would feel much more comfortable kind of getting rejected here. But even so, if we do wind up coming up or coming down and rejecting here, you have to be careful of that support on the value area low, right? So it's all about the ranges, right? So if we are indeed going to get accepted back into this range, we are simply just trading the range once again, waiting to come to the highs for the shorts, waiting to come to the lows for the longs, right? But let's go ahead, and now you guys know about the bull div potentially printing on the daily. In my opinion, if that prints, things could get very interesting. However, let's go ahead and come up to that weekly time frame and go ahead and take a look at that 200-week moving average. Now, as you guys know, shout out to Budiano. Shout out to you, man. Says, can you help me check the chart of XLM coin? Thank you. Yeah, no problem, brother. We're going to get to the altcoins in just a minute. After we are done with Bitcoin, we will move on, and I will start off with XLM. No problem. But let's see. Yeah. Shout out to Shemitry. I don't know how to say your name. I can't really see it. But he says, it's a trash move. Doesn't matter. Not financial advice. NFA. Gotta say it. But yeah, 3 drives of a bullish divergence would be pretty fire, to be honest. But that would be what I'm looking at for a potential big move to the upside. However, coming up to the weekly, guys, there's some interesting stuff we have to look at, right? VWAP absolutely rejected from that 0 line as we got our move down. However, you guys will know yesterday, as we were breaking this 200-week moving average, I was talking about how if we are going to see more downside for Bitcoin, I was talking about, if we do wind up breaking that 200-week, which we were yesterday, the body of the candle was below that 200-week moving average. But we were talking about, if we did continue down, maybe that 25K level, maybe a little bit lower to retest some of these highs from back here, or even if we saw that head and shoulders pattern from up here play out in full and bring us all the way down to about $23,000, we were basically talking about, a lot of people would be like very bearish at this point. However, if you were able to snap back up at the end of the week and close your candle on Sunday above that 200-week moving average, that could be an extremely bullish sign, very similar to this bullish hammer candle. It would look very similar, and we were comparing this move to that bullish hammer candle from back here, saying, hey, we lose that 200-week, we could see something like this happen where you get a massive wick to the downside, and then we eat it all up before the candle close, and then you get somewhat of a bullish hammer candle, which is a bullish reversal candle, right? So this was indicating, hey, this downtrend is likely to reverse to the upside, and the reason that is a bullish candle, guys, is because when you have a long wick on the bottom of your candle, it's showing that the bears push your price all the way down. down. The bears were trying to absolutely crush the price, but the bulls just ate it all back up before the candle closed, and that is a sign of strength. Obviously, we got that Lambo candle right after that, but you know, we were talking yesterday about something similar happening here potentially, and you can see here, this is somewhat of a bullish hammer candle. Obviously, we were talking about it potentially bringing us a little bit lower than this, but obviously the week is not over, and we could easily push down lower, and you know that could still happen. But even if it doesn't, if we were to close the candle right here, this is kind of what I was talking about, right? You kind of get like a bullish hammer here, and then that could indicate a trend reversal potentially all the way back up to your range high. Shout out to Tankata BG, says, what do you think about exocharts? Should I use it? Tankata, I would say this. What is your experience level, right? I would, although, first off, I love exocharts. I use exocharts personally. I don't show it on the stream a lot because it is very, it's very advanced. And it's very advanced looking, if that makes sense. Like, it's advanced, and it looks advanced, and it looks super complicated. And I like to keep the live streams and the YouTube channel beginner-friendly. I talk about exocharts a little bit more in the premium Discord, but it is definitely an extremely invaluable tool. Looking at footprint charts like that is absolutely invaluable. If you are looking at that, you definitely are going to gain somewhat of an edge over the markets. But like anything, it's not going to be right 100% of the time, and it takes time to learn how to use it, right? So, you know, all in all, super powerful tool, right? Super powerful tool. But, you know, it's just really like, where are you in your trading? I would maybe try to, if you're new, maybe try to learn a little bit of more of the basic stuff. But if you are, you know, if you have been trading for a while and you're looking for, you know, a little extra information, or you feel ready to take on like a new learning journey, then jump in, because, you know, once you understand that, it could really give you a very, very big edge over the market. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the super chat, man. And that's what I think. And if you want to learn more about that, you know, I would say you don't have to join the premium Discord, but we do talk about it more in the premium Discord. I show it on the live stream once in a while, but I could feel everybody going, oh my God, what is that? Take it off the screen. I don't like it. Oh my God. So yeah, it is just a little bit more of an advanced tool. But there you go. Shout out to Lost Profit. I see you in here, brother. Thank you for being here. And shout out to Brad Does Things Too. You are funny, guys. Is that Brad Guidell? Let me know. But you guys will remember we were talking about that hammer candle, and it's just funny because we are seeing something similar to that happen, but obviously we were looking for it to potentially I don't even remember, to be honest. We might have talked about it bringing it down to 25.3. I don't really know. I think we were talking about 23 being that number. But again, we still have all week to continue this candle. This candle can turn into a green this could turn into a green weekly candle, right? Or we could just come back down overnight or tomorrow or the next day, or get a midweek reversal and come down lower. But again, it's not until we start closing those weekly candles below that 200-week moving average. This is my sad attempt at drawing candles here on the weekly chart. It's not until we start closing those weekly candles below that 200-week that I would flip much more bearish and expect much lower prices for Bitcoin. And we've been talking about that forever. So, but yeah, that's basically it, right? Now, we are now above the 200-week, back above the 200-week moving average, which is very bullish, right? That is, again, like if we were closing the weekly candle here, I would be very bullish, but we are simply not. So we have to wait to see what this weekly candle close. This weekly candle close is going to be big, guys. It is going to be important. It is Brad. Shout out to Brad, man. You're funny, dude. You're funny. But let's see. Okay. So yeah, shout out to V-Slim. I see you, brother. What's going on, man? But yeah, that would be, if we were closing this weekly candle today, I'd be extremely bullish. But we have all week to potentially bring it lower. But as of right now, as an unclosed candle, we are back above the 200-week. This is technically pretty bullish, right? And again, if we do get accepted back above that 200-week, back in this range, we are simply just back to trading the volume profile, right? So there you go. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, guys. I kind of wanted to keep today's live stream a little bit simple because I do feel like sometimes if you talk too much about too many things, people kind of leave like, I'm confused, man. I don't know. He said the money flow's going up, the money flow's going down. And I understand that this stuff is very technical and it's very hard to understand. So I like to think that we explain it very easily. But I want to try to keep things extra simple, right? Because right now it's like things were really, really bearish yesterday, and now we got this pump, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, the bulls are back." But I do just want to say, not necessarily yet. But they are on track to potentially take over here. But I am not ready as as a bear. My bear half of me is not ready to throw in the towel just yet, right? Because again, if we reject from here, I will say, guys, if we reject from this golden pocket and everything rolls back over and we come lower, that was exactly what we were looking at. We came right up to that local golden pocket, and we covered that like in. I was going to say in troves. Is that the right word? I don't know. But we covered it like crazy yesterday, the golden pocket retracements and where lower highs are likely to come in. If you were here, you will know that. But if we do reject here, that would make a ton of sense, right? So I'm not ready until we break this purple box to start trading this macro range again, right? And basically, I'd probably be waiting to come up to the highs to look for a short. So there you go. Money flow still looking pretty bad, and then that was the check-in on the weekly. So we're gonna have to let time. We're gonna have to let time do its thing here, guys. We got to see what this weekly candle is gonna look like tomorrow. But right now we're back above it, so that is a sign of strength. As far as the lower time frames go, right? The 4 hour, and you guys remember on yesterday's stream, I was saying, not really expecting any moves, any significant moves to the upside until we print that 4 hour green dot. We printed the 4 hour green dot. Got one, sideways candle, and then boom, we absolutely ripped. And I would kind of think the same thing right now, right? I would kind of think the same thing right now. I wouldn't really be expecting this to be a significant move to the downside until we get another red dot on the 4 hour time frame, right? In which case, that is where I would look for that move down. And again, that VWAP is starting to roll over. And I said the same exact thing yesterday. Let me see something, because I'm going to say the same thing right now. We were looking at the 15-minute yesterday as the money flow was working its way to the upside. Where are we here? So 7:30, right? So we were right here looking at the, was this yesterday? This is the 5th. Yeah. So yesterday we were looking at this 15-minute money flow on the show saying, hey, this looks like it could be rounding to the upside. And then we came down to the 10-minute. You guys will remember this. It's so hard for me to, without instant feedback. Rob, I will answer you in a second. Thank you for bringing that up. But we were looking at the 12-minute as that money flow was starting to come up, saying, hey, that 15-minute might start to roll up as well. And what I would look for is this money flow to cross over into the green as you get that 4 hour green dot. And that is likely where you're going to get some kind of a move to the upside. Again, I didn't really expect it to be this explosive, but you could see that 4 hour money flow, or that 15-minute money flow. Well, let's see. Where to cross over at first? Let's go ahead and mark it out here. 15-minute money flow crosses over technically right there, but that was barely a crossover. So I'll call this the first real crossover into the green. And let's see if it was anywhere near that green dot. And it was right after that green dot printed, right? So basically you would have waited, you would have waited to see if you were going to get that crossover into the green. Honestly, you would have went for a little bit of a ride here, which is not very common with these money flow crossovers. But this actual money flow crossover right here was really what gave you the move to the upside. So there you go. But the reason I bring that up, guys, is because I would look for something very, very similar for the move down, right? I would wait for that 4 hour VWAP to roll over, right? We come up to resistance, waiting for it to roll over. You can see we did come up and hit this 200 period moving average perfectly, almost to the dollar. And, as this 4 hour VWAP starts to teeter over here, I would look for money flow on the 15 and the 12-minute starting to roll over to the downside. We do have a 12-minute bearish divergence confirmed right at our level, right? So that would have been a logical, right? That would have been a logical scalp short to take there. If we come down to the lower time frames, dang, money flow coming up on the 10-minute, starting to come out on the 5-minute. But you did get the 15-minute bear div as well into that key level of resistance. So we may cool off just a little bit here. But that is kind of what I would look at for the next significant move to the downside. I'd wait for that 4-hour to roll back over, and then I would keep an eye on this money flow. If it comes back into the red, you know that it's probably more likely that this was a lower high rather than a significant pump to the upside or a sustainable pump to the upside. But I do just, I do want to point out, guys, there's no way to really know. Right? Like, nobody knows. No one is. If anyone's out there telling you they know exactly what's going to happen, they're lying to you, right? No one really knows. This could have been a significant bottom at 25.3. We've been looking at this level forever, right? $25,300 was our next level. I honestly didn't even really want to talk about it anymore because I was like, I'm calling for this 25.3. It hasn't come yet. I don't even know if it's ever going to come. Maybe I should just stop talking about it. But I didn't, right? We still called for it. We still looked for it. We weren't calling for it, but we were looking for it as our next major level of support. And technically speaking, guys, we did get some potential bottom signals here, right? Like, money flow is the main thing that's fighting against us. And because money flow indicates the longer-term trend, that's kind of why I am leaning more towards a pullback, right? But if you come down to the 4-hour here, did we get it on the 4-hour? Let's see. Do we have an actual, yeah, I mean, you have somewhat of an exaggerated bullish divergence here. You don't really have higher lows on your momentum waves, but you have equal lows on your momentum waves with your lower lows on your price action. A lot of times this can mark a significant bottom, but again, it's better to mark that significant bottom with money flow coming up. And although we got that crossover, I'd like to see like we were in the red, and as money flow crosses over, you're getting that divergence, and then that usually marks a significant bottom. So that's kind of a toss-up there, right? Like, you got the bull div. I would say this is probably a stronger signal here on the 10-hour, the 12-hour, and the 16-hour. I mean, you get this 16-hour bull div here. It is printing, right? It's not confirmed yet. But if you confirm that, that could be, that could mean that this was somewhat of a significant bottom, and we may wind up coming higher, in which case that would be mega bullish for Bitcoin. So, yeah. But again, it's not until that daily money flow or that 2-day money flow starts to shape up that I would start to trust those moves. So again, kind of keeping an eye on the same stuff as we were looking at yesterday. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that lower high. Not invalidated just yet. I know a lot of people are probably wondering that. Money flow still coming out, starting to look a little better, but still starting to come out, or still continuing to come out. And another thing, guys, this is another thing I wanted to cover today. We have to remember, we confirmed the 2-week red dot here. Now, this is probably going to take a little longer to play out, right? But this is another thing that we potentially have going for us, right? You have the 2-week red dot. This is historically in similar situations where we come down, put a bottom in of a bear market right here like in 2018. You get your fake out bull market or your little bear market rally here up to about 14K in 2019. And as you peaked out on that bear market rally, you printed a blood diamond. A red dot on your 2-week, and that is what caused your next move to the downside. This was obviously a black swan, but it did cause a move to the downside before eventually getting that March 2020 panic wick, and then finally the halving comes in and then off into your bull run. But you did get a significant move down here, right? Like, I won't even count the March 2020 dump here, but from the top of that, from that red dot all the way to the bottom without that scam wick was a 50% dump, right? It's a 50% dump. So, if we got that to happen here, right, where you get that 2-week red dot confirmed, which it is, and then you wind up coming down here. Where's the confirmation? Right here, 50%. Where would that bring you? Yikes. Oh, baby. 55% was really. That brings you down to 12K, which is interesting because, guys, that is one of those lower low targets. But again, I do think it is more likely that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. However, not impossible to get, again, I like to hammer this home, right? I do personally think that the bottom is more likely in than not. If you saw my bull market video on Sunday, you'll know all the details behind that. But there are a lot of smart people, guys, that think that we could come to lower lows. And I like, the internet is a savage place, right? Like, you get people on the internet, and they're usually like viewers that have probably been in crypto for 2 weeks, and they think they're a genius or whatever. And they like, oh, this idiot thinks we're going to 3K, or this idiot thinks we're going to 10K. more often than not, these people, these viewers are talking about someone who is not an idiot. It's someone who's been doing it for a very long time. It's someone who very much knows what they're talking about and very much has experience. And, you know, I don't want anybody, because just know that a lot of people who are calling for lower lows, even though I disagree, are very smart traders. These are not just like willy-nilly, like random people like in crypto. These are very well-known, very well-respected people in the space, especially for me. Like some of these people are some of the people I respect very, very highly. So although I do believe this was the bottom, I am not completely closed-minded to the fact that we can come lower. And if you want to be a real trader, you should think like that as well. You should not just be like, no, the bottom was in here, and if you think it wasn't, you're an idiot. That is counterproductive and the wrong way to do it, because then you could miss out on potential possibilities. You're just going to be longing the farm here, and then if you break those lows, you're going to get wrecked, right? So it's all about a game of probabilities, and, you know, even when people are wrong, it doesn't make them an idiot, right? It just means that they're wrong. Every trader's going to be, we're wrong sometimes, right? We're wrong, you know, and we say when we're wrong, right? It doesn't make you a bad trader. You're just wrong sometimes. That's how it works. No one can predict this 100%. So it is interesting that 55% dump does bring you down to that 13 to 12K level, which brings you right down to retest these highs, which is very, 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 very interesting to me, right? But I'm not calling for lower lows, but I'm just saying that is interesting. I just measured that out live. I didn't know that was going to line up like that. But, you know, that 2-week red dot, with money flow coming out, like this 2-week money flow looks like really bearish, right? But the thing is, that's not going to play out immediately, right? It's going to take time. We could pull all the way back up to 31K and then get a big move down, and that could still be in play, theoretically, right? And then on top of that, guys, taking a look at the monthly. The monthly VWAP is working its way to the downside as well. This is a very high time frame. We very rarely look at time frames that are this high. So with the VWAP rolling back over on the monthly, this is going to take, we only print another monthly candle every month, right? So this takes a lot of time to play out. But, you know, if this winds up printing a red dot, again, it's probably going to take 1 to 2 months to get it. But once we do, guys, these red dots on the monthly are very, very rare, right? We got one back here in April of 21, which was our first peak of the bull market before absolutely dumping, right? Then we came up. Your second one came in right here on this candle at our second peak before nuking into the bear market, right? And now we are about to print one again. Not about. I should use that with a grain of salt. It's only June 6th. We have almost a whole month before we print another candle, and we might not even get the red dot on the next month. We might have to wait another month, right? And then you could get support on the zero line, and then it could drag it out even longer. But it's just something you should be watching, right? Because if we print that monthly red dot, it is, you know, let's just go ahead and measure these, right? Monthly, I'm not going to measure it. Monthly red dot, massive move down. Monthly red dot, massive move down. Monthly red dot, doesn't look like a massive move, right? But monthly red dot, just this one candle, 50%, right? That was the 50, almost 60%, right? Monthly red dot, measure this one. Again, does not look like a big move, but from wick to the bottom, 37%. 37%, right? Where'd that green dot come in? Yeah, about 37%. Right? And then this one was the top of the bull market in 2017. And then this one right here actually didn't give you, doesn't look like a big move, but it probably was, right? From wick to wick, 37%, right? So, you know, this is going to be working against us as well. And on top of that, guys, now I don't typically look at this. You know, I don't look at the MACD every single day, but it does look like, again, look at the bearish cross here. These are typically very bearish, right? Bearish MACD cross on the weekly with your histogram crossing over into the red. This is historically marked a move to the downside. It marked a move to the downside here. It marked a move to the downside here, right? And then you could go back and back this. You got one crossover here, right? Crossover here, right? So we are getting these signals to pop up on the charts, guys, and we have to keep our eyes open to the idea that we could continue lower. We also, on top of that, pumped over 100%, right? We absolutely ripped from the bottom up to 31K is a 100% pump. That is a significant move. A move down would not be unlikely. Even though we are kind of cooling off here anyway, you know, that is probably enough to make a little room for more upside. But even back here, Back here in 2019, we ripped up 330%, right? So not impossible to see it go higher, but 100% pump is nothing to scoff at, right? So wouldn't be, completely out of the ordinary, to cool off a little bit more, because those higher macro bearish signals are pretty dang bearish, right? So there you guys go. That's the bearish macro signals, right? And, again, just so no one gets confused, just because we have the 2-week red dot or the monthly red dot, if you look at my bull market confirmed video that I put out on Sunday, we talk about and I want to be the poster child of people actually understanding how the market works and not just like clowning influencers, right? In that video, we talk about a potential retest of 15K to come down and double bottom on 15K. Right? So just because basically the point of that video was to show where we were in the cycle and how close we are to the halving, and the fact that most of the pain in the bear market is likely over, right? Even if we came down here and tested 15K again, it's not really that painful, right? It's only painful because we got to pump up 100% and everybody thinks we're going to 100K, right? If we come all the way down here, in the grand scheme of the bear market, if you come up to a higher time frame, right, it's just an accumulation phase. Like, let's say we come down to 15K and we double bottom. That essentially just makes this entire bottom here a little range, right? You dump to the bottom of the bear market, and then you accumulate at the bottom, and then the halving happens, and you launch off into the next bull run, right? That's historically how it works. Doesn't mean it's going to play out exactly the same, but that's historically how it's worked. And history doesn't always repeat itself, but it oftentimes rhymes. So again, if we dump down to 15K, it doesn't mean that everything is all over. It zoom out. If you are ever like even today's pump, right? Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" Like, zoom out. I'm not saying it's not a significant pump, but like just zoom out. It's not that crazy. It's not that crazy. It compared to what the price action that we've gotten recently, it's an exciting candle. It's like one of the bigger candles we've gotten in this entire range. But as soon as we get a pump, I see people like, "Oh my God, I missed the bottom," and I'm like, dude, zoom out, man, zoom out. Like if you bought down here, it's short-term trading is different, right? But if you're long-term, right, and you're just looking to buy and hold, buying here and buying here, just a news to anybody who is new to the space. Buying here and buying here for a long-term bag. Like if you picked up some long-term bags and you accidentally bought, the top of a pump and you came down here and you're mad that you bought spot Cardano up here, this move is not going to make a difference when you zoom all the way out, come to a higher time frame, and look at where price can go. Let's say, let's assume, right, that we get to at least 100K, right? So, like, that's roughly, like, right here, right? Look how small those moves are, right? Like, it wouldn't even matter if you bought here or here. And we were talking about a little move up in here, right? So just perspective is everything. So shout out to the CandleMafia. I think that's all we got for Bitcoin, guys. I just wanted to talk about all this stuff just because, I wanted to be very clear about these. I just wanted to make sure I cleared up some things we talked about yesterday. So, yeah, now you guys have the actual line in the sand where, again, if we crack that purple box, things are going to probably bring us up to the range highs. But with that being said, guys, shout out to who was it? I lost it. I'm so bad. But let's see. I did miss some super chats. Let's see what we got. Shout out to Cheeks. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Said the market is kind of tough for a new trader. I suck at this crypto stuff. I'm just going to go and buy Bencoin and hold for now. Hey, Cheeks, you hang out on this live stream, you will slowly start to pick up, or actually probably rather quickly, start to pick up how to be a profitable trader and how we actually think and how to not let the market trick you, because it is always going to try to trick you. Just remember that. The market likes to wreck as many people as possible. It likes to wreck the bears and then wreck the bulls and then wreck the bears again and then wreck the bulls again so they can extract money from people, right? So that's how it works. And, if you look at this stuff long enough and you hang out in here long enough, Cheeks, we got your back. Always ask questions. Try to answer as many as I can while we're live, and we'll help demystify all this stuff for you. Not a problem. Shout out to Cheeks. Thank you for that super chat, man. I do appreciate you. Shout out to Hawkeye. Let's go. Shout out to Hawkeye. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says, Frankie, do I look at money flow more on standard candles or Heikinashi? I've noticed the crossovers do vary a little between the two candle types. Yes, Everything kind of varies slightly between your Heikin-Ashi candles and your regular candles. However, I look at both, right? If you go to the Heikin-Ashis, you can see we are still technically in the red here with our money flow. I will say this. I flip back and forth, but Market Cipher, shout out to CryptoFace. Hopefully, I am not misquoting this, but I believe Market Cipher was designed specifically for Heikin-Ashi candles. So, in my opinion, when in doubt, just look at the Heikin-Ashis because that's what Market Cipher was based on or made for. But I do go back and forth, right? Because sometimes, specifically on Market Cipher A, sometimes the regular candles will give you many more Market Cipher A signals. You can see here there's no blood diamonds over here, right? And then you go to your regular candles, and boom, you got double blood diamonds, right? But notice they didn't play out. Right? They actually were kind of foreshadowing a giant move up. So that might be why it's designed for Heikin-Ashis. You wouldn't have gotten those false signals on the Heikin-Ashis. So if I had to pick, I would say lean on the Heikin-Ashis because that's what Market Cipher was made for. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Did I miss one more super chat? I think there was one more. Shout out to Tankata. BG, shout out to you, man. Thank you again for that super chat. He said, I am in the market for 3 years. I became profitable because of your live streams. I learned so much from you. Can you show EXO charts for a second? Yeah, I can pull up EXO charts. But we will start looking at the altcoins. Rob, to answer your question, yeah, we could just do pull the alts from yesterday. Let's look at a total of 4 or 5, and then use the ones from yesterday and then just fill in the blanks, I guess. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. So if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead, or you want to see me do TA on your favorite altcoins, that sounds weird. If you guys want to see TA, that sounds better, on your favorite altcoins, what's up, Slime? What's going on, brother? Oh, he's got them. All right, shout out to Tony D. Thank you for that. But yeah, if you guys want to see your altcoins, we're already done? Okay. All right, fire. Okay. Shout out to the poll. Have you smashed that like button? Yes, always. Not yet. I will tonight. I will, though. And then what's that last one? I am new. What is the like button? Shout out to Tony D. All right, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. You want to see coin? We can take a look at coin. Let's see. Dumpski. There we go. Coinbase being attacked. And guys, hey. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. If you don't follow me on Twitter, guys, Frankie_candles on Twitter. Definitely follow me over there. I'm trying to be more active out there on Twitter. There's so much stuff to do. It's hard for me to balance everything. However, if you guys saw my tweet, does anybody else think it's interesting that XRP was not listed in the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase? And then I get everybody, no, it's because they don't sell XRP, you idiot. And I'm like, they used to. And I don't think just because they delisted it that stops the SEC from being able to sue them over it, right? So yeah, you're correct. XRP is not offered on Coinbase, but it used to be, right? They delisted it after the lawsuit. So I would have to imagine that if the SEC was going to go after Coinbase, like why wouldn't they? It's just weird that they didn't mention XRP. I'm not saying this means XRP is going to $1 million. I'm just saying it's definitely interesting. Because they definitely listed it, and they definitely had it for a long time, so it's just interesting. Maybe it's not a security. Maybe that was a little hint. Maybe it was a little nod to the XRP army. I almost said the mafia. Maybe it's a little hint to the XRP army, like, hey, lawsuit might be done. Might not be a security. But anyway, shout out to Darren Dusting, says BTC needs to dump again. Second day in a row getting wrecked. Shout out to Darren. Brother, listen, I missed my entry, which feels like I got wrecked because I could have made a bunch of money, and I didn't. Shout out to James M. James M. Said they didn't put it in the Binance suit either. Interesting. And they do sell it. I mean, is that not interesting? Hey, shout out to the XRP army. Let's get it. Let's see. Yeah, it says it's a civil suit. They could sue over almost anything. SEC cleared them for the markets. Their suit is pure BS. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Shout out to Creighton C. Definitely makes sense. Hint, 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 hint. Let's go. But with that being said, guys, speaking of XRP, hang on. We had a XLM. Yeah, taking a look at XLM. I want to get this out of the way first for the person who super chatted it. And let's go ahead and take a look. I don't think we have it here. XLM. Take a look at the oh, that's not what I wanted. XLM. Let's see. What am I doing? Oh, that's why we're not on crypto. Boom, baby. There we go. Bing bong. Let's go. All right, here we go. Guys, today's energy is brought to you by Aztec and Cactus Moss Water. Just good old Aztec and Cactus Moss Water, not Goat Fuel, because they still haven't hit us up. So it's Aztec and Cactus Moss Water until Goat Fuel sees us shout them out and sponsors us. All right, here we go. Continuing on. XLM. Take a look at the daily. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously dumping. Red dot confirmed on your daily. Let's come up to the 3-day red dot printing, 4-day red dot printing, 5-day red dot printing, 6-day VWAP rejected at the 0 line. Taking a look at your, weekly is kind of neutral. I mean, the 2, 3, 4, and 5-day are looking, they are, the 2, 3, 4, and 5-day is looking for more downside, so I would be careful about that. 12-hour VWAP is coming. Let's come down to the 4 hours, see if we can, getting a little bit of a bounce here. Take a look at the 6-hour green dot printing, 8-hour looking for the green dot. So I'm going to naturally come down to the lower time frames and look for our money flow. Green dot and money flow crossover on the 30-minute with an 8-hour potentially looking to print that green dot, but it's not quite printing yet. This is kind of hard to read. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and pull the range here. Tony D says, new feature just dropped today. Go to the drop-down on top of chat that says live chat and click fan funding. What does that even mean? Let's see here. Wait, what? Oh, God, what? I just clicked a link. Oh, my God, I'm going to get scammed. What is this? Oh, it's... Okay, interesting. Guys, bear with me. Fan funding. What is going on? I don't know. Oh! That's lit! Guys, that's dope. Now I can see all of our super chats and stuff. That's lit. I mess with that. I like that. Now we can see all of our super chats and stuff. That's cool. Let's go. Makes it so much easier so I don't miss... what do you think about... Yeah, so now I will never miss another super chat. That is amazing. Shout out to Jacob C. for getting that membership. All right, continuing on here, guys. Yeah, see, look at the volume profiles and how they give you context into the market. Look at this. We're coming down, right? And, honestly, the indicators are kind of confusing. But we are holding support a little bit on that point of control. However, we rejected our value area high, right? And we came right down to the POC. And now we're bing-bonging on the POC, get a little bit of a bounce, but then we come back. Technically, we would be expecting to get a move down to the value area low at about 8 cents, right? So if we lose this point of control, I would expect a move down to 8 cents, and I would actually expect a move down pretty quickly due to this volume gap right here. So that is basically what I would look for on XLM. Again, money flow on the 8 hour is coming out. Your 6-hour money flow is coming out. Your 5-hour money flow is coming out. 4 hours coming back up locally. However, money flow is generally flowing to the downside. Your 3-hour, aggressively coming out here. So, again, kind of what I would look for here, guys. I mean, I don't know why this is the theme of every stream for the past 2 weeks. Probably because we've been coming down a bit. I would look for some bearish retests of some local golden pockets to potentially put in a lower high and then roll back to the downside. So I would maybe look at this golden pocket right here on XLM. Boom, right? I would look at this as a potential rejection area, and then you have your 786 up here. And then you can even look at this more local one that we're tapping right about now. And you could kind of make this box, but I mean, you could just go ahead and make this box between your 786 and your golden pocket, right? So this is the lower highs that I would be looking at on XLM. If it is going to continue to dump, we could push back higher into here and then get a rollover to the downside coming to some of those lower prices. And where would those lower prices likely bring you? Potentially down to your value area low at about 8 cents, right? Or 0.0834 cents right there. That's what I would look for on XLM. Now, obviously, it's likely not going to play out exactly like this line, but if you get some bearish confirmations up in up on this golden pocket, I mean, yeah. Let's see, money flow on the 15-minute. If this money flow on the 15-minute was not coming up and it was coming out, I would look to short that bear div right here, right? You have your momentum waves making lower highs. You have your price action making higher highs into a key level of resistance. But we have money flow crossing over into the green with a green dot on the 4 hours. So I would look for a potential push up to your 786 at 9 cents even. So there you go. That's basically what I'm looking for on XLM. But again, the higher time frames here, I mean, if all these red dots confirm, that would be very bearish in my opinion. All right, here we go. Let's continue on. Let's see. DCA and OFP or DCS and OFP multiplayer. XRP, extra small PP. Why? Why do people make me laugh like this? Why? Let's see. I'm on vacation this week and would like to retire by next Monday. Any advice, fam? Shout out to Psychedelic Astronaut. Bro, I'll tell you this. I was going to say buy Bing Bong token, but I don't want to say that in case anybody just hears it at an earshot and then they just go buy something called Bing Bong token. I have nothing to do with it. But, yeah, shout out to Psychedelic Astronaut. I would just keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're crushing. Let's go. You should be retired by Monday. I could see it in my crystal ball. All right, let's see. Ooh, longs are doing okay. Longs are doing okay. Looking to push up here. Oh, my God. This thing doesn't want to stop, guys. And you know why it doesn't want to stop, guys? You want to know why? The reason, and I'm in longs, right? But I don't care. I don't care that I'm up on my longs. I'm pissed because I missed the specific long entry that I wanted to get. And it's pushing. And it's pushing. Come on. Come on. Unbelievable. 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 Shout out to anybody in the premium or the dining room. Shout out to you guys. Let's see. You're funny, bro. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Dang, computer not liking it. Not liking it. Yeah. Okay, continuing on here, right? Looking for a potential. Yeah, looking for a continued push up into the local golden pocket here, guys. But anyway, continuing on, let's go ahead and take a look. Bada boom, bada boom. Yeah, bullish engulfing inbound potentially there. Potentially, Creighton. Hopefully we can dump quickly. All right, let's continue on here. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Said YouTube level up for Frankie. Let's get it. Shout out to Chem Bro. All right, only calf. Yo, bro, how does that even work? Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at H-bar. Or actually, take a look at ETH quick, as it is on the list. Take a look at ETH coming down to the 4 hour. And, I mean, hey, I don't even know where this golden pocket was pulled from. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Even though it is basically right where we bounced off of, but I don't know where it's pulled from. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. But let's go ahead and take a look here. I don't think this is, let's look at our actual ETH chart. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. So taking a look at Ethereum or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Let's go ahead and get rid of these brushes. Bada boom, bada bing. And there we go. Okay, so taking a look here on the 4 hour, spawn our range real quick. And I don't want anyone getting it twisted, right? Basically, for Ethereum, we are still within our macro range, right? We are within our macro range, right? So I would just treat this as a range. And as of right now, guys, we got to bounce off the value area low, came up to the POC, hung out on the POC for quite a long time, came up to the value area high as expected, and then we rejected the value area high, rejected a local golden pocket to put in that lower high. Are we putting in another lower high to continue back to the downside? Potentially. Excuse me. Taking a look at the 5-hour and the 4-hour VWAP is rolling over. Could potentially be the start of a little bit of a pullback here. I'm actually going to go ahead and clear all of these levels and start fresh. There we go. Come on, I got to come up to a high. This is a long range here. Let's come down to the 16. There we go. And then let's just go ahead and pull this dang thing. Boom. So, again, went from the low up to the high, rejected the high, put in the lower high on a local golden pocket, came down to the POC. Now we're getting a bounce off the POC, but we could just be putting in another lower high because remember, once you reject that value area high, you are expecting the POC to come in and then eventually looking for the value area low to come in. Right? So if we go ahead and pull that local golden pocket, are we tapping it right now? We are rejecting off the 786 currently, right now. Push through the golden pocket into the 786. Are we about to roll back over, back down to the POC, and then potentially back down to the value area low? I don't know, and nobody can. But we can assume that based off of the rules of the volume profile and the fact that we know that oftentimes when you reject the value area high, you are more likely to come down to your low again rather than pump. You could take that into consideration and add it into your tool belt or into your list of confirmations. And, shout out to Darren. I just randomly saw that. He said, at least you're not getting wrecked and you sat on your hands. Shout out to Darren. It's kind of a good point. But I will let you know, brother, I am feeling pain as well. Don't worry. Because my short that was massively in profit is now not in the red quite yet, but it is not as massively in profit. So that feels like a wreck to me. But shout out to Darren, bro. You crush it. So you're not going to win them all. Don't worry. Don't get discouraged. You're not going to win them all. And I see you in the Discord, bro. You're crushing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get discouraged. I know it's more annoying than anything getting wrecked, to be honest. But again, we get rejected here. You come down to the low. But it doesn't mean 100% of the time, right? But we are coming up, right? Not only, right here, from the high to the low. Bang. You reject the golden pocket, 786. You come lower. Where would your lower high come in this time? This golden pocket or this 786? We may be able to roll back over. And with a 4-hour red dot, that is, if we are going to get that move down, I would look for it to happen on that 4-hour red dot. 16-hour bullish divergence is not printing, right? So ETH does not have the bullish divergence, but you do have the green dot. Somewhat of a trigger wave there. Money flow in the red. Kind of wish-washy there, right? Daily red dot confirmed. VWAP cruising back to the upside. Your 2-day red dot confirmed, but VWAP coming back to the upside. Things are a little weird right now, guys, because we got this quick move up, so the indicators are like kind of confused, right? You got the red dot, and it's like, this is bearish, but I want to go back up. But look at the money flow. This is the 2-day. Still cruising to the downside. Again, when in doubt, draw your line, right? Like, well, money flow came back up here, though. Isn't that bullish? No, not necessarily. It could be, but not necessarily. You want to look at the trend of the money flow. You put a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. Even if we came up again, you could put another lower high in and then cross over into the red. So take that for what it's worth. But there you go, right? Money flow still coming out on the 2-day. Really, same thing as Bitcoin. I would wait for that 4-hour red dot to expect any kind of significant move to the downside. There you go. There's ETH. 622 people still in here, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Everyone who likes we get, you guys get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. And every spin has multiple chances to win some free giveaways. We give away crypto. We give away free premium Discord memberships. We give away free memberships to the BitLab Academy. Shout out to Kelly Kellum. But yeah, could this circumstance spell a catalyst for XRP? Potentially. Shout out to Alex. Potentially. Yeah, SB said it's getting trippy, fam. It's getting trippy, fam. Yeah, 100%, bro. All right, let's see. 27.3, they say. 27.3, they're getting out of their shorts. Let's see. Let's see if it means anything. Let's see if it means anything in my book, right? Just because if it didn't mean sense in my book, you should still take what you think into consideration. Don't just knock out what you think because some crazy guy on YouTube doesn't agree with you. But let's see. 27.3. Yeah. That's what we're looking at, I think. It's the local golden pocket, or local 786, I believe, from the actual high from here. Right. Yeah, 27.3. Yeah, we start flipping that golden pocket. Yeah, I'd agree. If you start flipping that golden pocket, really the 786 for me is the line in the sand. But that golden pocket, you get above that golden pocket, yeah, you start getting above the value area high. I would look for a fresh short here. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Inspector Ape. Bitcoin pumping. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is, baby. All right, let's see. Get on that H-bar for the H-Barbarians and the H-Barbar... Shout out to Crypto Crab, man. Taking a look at H-Bar, guys. Crypto Crab, man, you're funny, bro. Shout out to you, man. Say what's up to Billy. I mess with you, Crypto Crab, man. You're cool. All right, let's see. Binance. Here we go. Oh, God, Binance. All right, here we go. Taking a look at the daily. So, yeah, I remember we were looking at this... potentially looking for a daily bullish divergence to come in here. We have not printed it yet. We got one here, which gave us a little move to the upside, but we have not gotten the bullish divergence just yet. However, I may let these lines live here. Guys, because a lot of times we do go back. Hey, Servando Estrada, what is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. But you guys know a lot of the time, sometimes we leave these lines on the chart, and then sometimes price just gets attracted to our lines and goes where we want it to. But you can see here we are still in play here for that daily bull div, right? That daily bull div is in play. I will draw a fresh line here. Oh, no, we went full screen. I hate full screen. Get me out of full screen. Oh, my God. Get me out of here. Okay. So here you go, right? We could be putting in that daily bull div. If you put that daily bull div on H-bar, money flow. See, I feel more comfortable longing this daily bull div, right? Because money flow's been in the red for a while, right? And this has got a big move down. It might be time for this to come back up. I would look to potentially. I'm going to set an alert here. So here we go. Let's go ahead and set an alert. So if you guys didn't know, you could set alerts on Market Cipher B. So you go ahead and select Market Cipher B. And then we're looking for a green dot, right? So I'm looking for a blue wave, small green dot. I only like to get notified once. And then long H-bar, question mark, right? Because it's not like I'm going to get this notification and then just go long H-bar, right? You need to look at the chart. So now I will get notified next time a green dot prints on the daily. And now I don't have to sit at the chart. And I'll just get a little bing. And I'll look, and I'll be like, oh, my God, H-bar's printed a daily bull div. Actually, probably should have put that in the description so I know the context. Daily bull div. Okay, boom. So, yeah, I would watch for that green dot on the daily. Could be big for H-bar because, yeah, it's right on. We're holding support right on that point of control of our previous range here, which would be a significant level. That's why this blue box is here, and that's probably what we were talking about, looking for that bull div. We were probably looking for the bull, probably looking for the bull div right here, right? So if we get that green dot, probably not today, maybe tomorrow, if not the next day. If we get that, and it does stay intact here, I will look for a potential long position on H-bar. Yeah, and then, just for what it's worth, anybody looking to learn here, if we were to get in here, you got to pay yourself along the way, right? Like, where is this going to pump to off a daily bear div, daily bull div? Kind of hard to say, but, you just want to be taking profit along the way. I would say this value area high right here would be a decent level to be looking for profit, a nice 7% gain. Not the best risk to reward here, but obviously, depending on how you enter, that would be different. But again, top of this value area wouldn't be a horrible place to take some profit. I would also look to potentially target the lows of this value area from all the way back up here. But there you go. Short and sweet on H-bar as we are running out of time here, guys. Going to move on to Algo. Has Algo moved yet, or is Algo still dead? It's still dead. Oh, boy. All right, guys. Getting a phone call here. Who's it going to be? All right, I think it's a scammer. Hang on. Hello? Hello?
Hi,
Not a scammer, just a sales call. I do like catching those scammers live, guys. If you call me, scammers, if you're watching this, if you call me live, I will put you on the internet in front of hundreds of people. We're nice to you, but, you know, we mess with you. But anyway, let's go. Can we talk to them? Yeah, I will. Guys, next time I get a scam call, I used to get them a lot. Next time I get a scam call on stream, you guys will know, and as soon as I answer the call, just put stuff for me to say, and I'll just read straight off. I'll just read straight off chat. Whatever you guys say. Just don't put bad words, because I don't want to get banned on YouTube. But yeah, I will just, without thinking, I would just read whatever you guys say. That would be funny. Hi, Jody. What are you selling? I actually think they were looking for donations. All right, let's see. Continuing on here, looking at Algo, guys. Algo just can't catch a dang break, guys. Algo cannot catch a break. It is just absolutely losing every level of support. Wanted to hold here. We came down. We lost it. We're dumping. Next major level, guys. These were the 3 levels, right? I was like, don't really want to lose this, or we're probably going here. You probably don't want to lose this because we're probably going here. So I would look, I mean, the next level of support on Algo, guys, this is going to be a super short one just because there's really nothing else to look at. Next level of major support will be coming in at about 0.1158. 11.5 cents, right, is essentially the next major level for Algo. And, yeah, I mean, at that point, you're in price discovery to the downside, I believe, if you break those lows, right? So other than that, though, we can take a look at the indicators. 5-day red dot printing, not the best sign. And a yellow X on the 5-day. Algo's going to 0. I'm sorry. Algo's going to 0. I'm just kidding, guys. It's not going to 0. I actually like Algo as a project a lot. Really smart team. But this is not good. A 5-day yellow X is not good, right? Like, this definitely has the power to bring us down to our last level of support here at about 11.5 cents. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Algo. 5-day red dot, definitely bearish. 6-day, looking for a green dot. That's a little bit of a better look. Weekly, also very close to printing a green dot, right? Getting rejected there just slightly, but yeah, very close to having a green dot. Taking a look at the 4-day. 3-day, red dot confirmed, yellow X confirmed. Your 2-day, yellow X is everywhere. Daily yellow X confirmed. Yeah, I would watch this next level of support, guys. I'll pull up the VPVR real quick here. Let's see, VRVP. Let's see. I mean, there's just nothing left. There's nothing left for Algo, guys. There's nothing left. This is the last line of support. And then you have this wick from down here. Somebody save Algo. But hey, not a bad time to buy, in my opinion. For me, not for you. This is not financial advice. This is for me. Oh, yeah, Aram said DCA. Yeah, for me, I might buy some Algo today. I might buy some Algo tomorrow, too. And if it comes down here, I might buy some more. So, yeah. Let's see. The founder hates Gary Ginzer now and will fight back against him. Algo will pop. Let's go. Shout out to Nate Quantum Divergence. I'm definitely buying Algo tonight now. All right, let's continue on. Hawkeye said it's dead. Done. Algo going to 0. Imagine being Gary at a crypto conference. Yeah, imagine. Do want to clarify, guys. I don't think Algo's actually going to 0. I'm just saying the chart. I mean, this thing just every time we look at this thing gets nuked. It's crazy. Good project, though. I'm really confused on what's going on. But yeah, daily's looking pretty bearish. That 5 days really your bearish case with your yellow X printing. Red dot confirmed, and now you guys have the levels of support. Short and sweet on Algo because there's really not much to look at. Taking a look at Cardano. If you guys saw that clip of Jim Cramer, he said, yeah, Jim Cramer out there. Yeah, you know, we're talking about some of these coins, Solano and Cardanzo. Like, dude, come on, man. Come on. Insane. Anyway, taking a look here. Cardano getting a little, let's see. Let's take a look at the weekly. There we go. All right, rejected at the 0 line on your weekly. Taking a look at the 3-day, nothing great. 2-day, nothing great. Daily, red dot, daily blood diamond confirmed. Interesting. Could be played out there. 10-hour money flow is coming out, looking for green dots. I mean, this stuff all basically, yeah, this looks very similar, right? 4-hour roll, you got a nice bounce here. 4-hour VWAP is starting to roll back over. Money flow is still in the red and coming out aggressively, as you can see here, right? So that is looking a little bit more bearish. What was going on here? What were we looking at over here? Interesting. Anyway. Yeah, I would, taking a look at the 90-minute. Yeah, I mean, bull div on the 90-minute gave you that big pop up. But, yeah, VWAP's rolling over. I would be careful. This looks like it may. 90-minute, looking for a red dot somewhat soon. VWAP flip on the 1 hour. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess, guys. Take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah. I'd watch the 4 hour red dot for the next significant move to the downside. Up until then, I would kind of lean towards sideways. Yeah, on the yeah. I would wait for that 4 hour red dot. I would lean on that 4 hour red dot. But daily blood diamond confirmed. That is definitely a little bit more bearish. If we do wind up coming down more, go ahead and pull this little range here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you are at the low of your macro value area. So take that for what it's worth. 16-hour bull div. This is what I would look for. 16-hour bull div, not printing just yet. Not printing just yet. Yeah, you actually might not even get it. You don't. Yeah, it depends. If price comes back down, I would look for a potential bull div on the 16-hour for a significant move up on Cardano. Other than that, be careful with the daily blood diamond. Not the best look. Ooh, daily bull div. Let me zoom in here real quick. Yeah, watch out for the daily bull div, guys. You can't really see it because the VWAP's in the way, so I'm actually going to turn the VWAP off real quick and just show you. That could be a nice little trigger wave, guys. Nice little trigger wave. Lower lows on your price action. Lower lows on your price action, right? You print that green dot here. You get that bull div on the daily with this nice little trigger wave here. That could give you a move back up to the highs of your range at about 40 cents. So there you go. There's Cardano. Hey, live. Oh, shout out to Grant P. Says, hey, live in denial if you want. For Cardano? I don't know. I missed that one. But shout out to Crypto Crabman. Said 183% yield farming on MinSwap, SNEC, ADA pair. Not financial advice, just saying. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you. Matic listed as a security by Gary Gensler in the document. Yeah, shout out to Darren. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But, hey, they didn't mention XRP, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, time to scoop more ADA. I mean, guys, Cardano is Cardano, right? Obviously, getting a little bit of getting a pretty bit of a hard break here. But I am bullish on Cardano. I would accumulate Cardano. I think it's a good project, and it's one of the good ones. It's one of the good ones. It's been around for a while. It's stood the test of time. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream, and I think it's time to start spinning that wheel of pain and pleasure. Here we go. I just Googled wheel by accident. I meant to type in picker wheel, and then it pops up. 576 people still in here. 612 likes, guys. We run it up to 700 by the end of the stream. I'll spin that wheel 20 times. Let's go. Please, Ovaltine chart. Let's see. Ovaltine made by Nestle. I don't even know if this is. Yeah, I don't think this is what we want to see. I don't know. I was trying to pull up the Ovaltine chart. Shout out to Tony. Tony loves Ovaltine. It is delicious. Let's see. I bought ADA this morning on the dump. Nice little bit, too. Going to margin scalp it. Round trip to zero. Shout out to Nate Quantum Divergence. Let's go. Let's see. Hey, Jim Kramer in the chat. Oh, Jim, you heard me talking about you. Hey, Jim, let me know. Do you own any Cardanzo, or did you sell it because of the lawsuit? Let me know. Let me know, brother. Let me know. I do like to be somewhat easy on people like that. Listen, I always, not that Jim Cramer's ever going to, like, get in touch with us at all, but I do say, like, I give Jim Cramer, like, everybody gives Jim Cramer a hard time, and it's funny. It's like a meme at this point, like, just inverse trade Jim Cramer, and you'll do really well. And, I mean, it is pretty crazy how, like inversely he is, it's almost like he's the mouthpiece for the powers that be. Like, hey, guys, we want to pump this. Tell Jim to tell everybody to sell so we can pump it. But Bottom is not in. Please don't get wrecked. Shout out to Looney. What's going on, Looney? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Cardanza for the win. Shout out to Jim Cramer. But yeah, he's not a crypto guy, right? Like, he's the stock guy, but now crypto's popular, so like they try to put him on the crypto. I don't know. Let's see. Shout out to Frankie. I'm always watching you on my way to work. Let's go. Shout out to Gen Z. Or Genzi, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you for being here. Let's go ahead and spin that wheel of pain and pleasure. We got 6 spins, running up to 7. Run the likes up to 700, guys, and we will go ahead and run those spins up to 20. Let's go. Spin numero uno. Just followed you on Twitter. I'm going to tweet you. Hey, shout out to Retail Crypto News. Shout out to you, man. Please do. Connor Anderson in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to you, man. What's up, man? What's up? Shout out to G Fuel. G Fuel in the house. I wonder, is G Fuel healthy? Does anybody know? I have contacts over it. I don't know if the guy I know is still the creative director, but I know some people over at G Fuel. Is it healthy? Because if it's healthier than an energy drink, it might be worth it just to get a sponsorship from them if we can get it just for health. HELTH. If you get the joke, you get the joke. Here we go. Spin number 4. Let's get it. XRP, let's see, loop ring chart. Kyle, we are done with the TA. I apologize, brother. We will try to look at that stuff tomorrow for you, though. What time is it? It's an hour 45. How many spins we got? 634. Let me spin it 2 more times. Let's see. Probably not. Yeah, Gen Z's, but probably not. It's probably not. You're right. Crypto Crabman, Tony Cardanzo. Come on. Tony Danza is better than Tony Danza. You're funny, man. Discord for the win. Shout out to Pure Owens. Absolutely. Pure Owens, what exactly? You talking about the premium Discord? The free Discord? The dining room? Let me know. I really like to know. Just subscribe. Let's go. Shout out to Pool. Shout out to Pool. Shout out to Paulie. Shout out to Paulie. Shout out to Paulie. Let's go. All right, let's continue on here. You guys are funny. All right, spin number 6. Here we go. 4, 5. All right, so we got 4. Give him a giveaway. Oh, it doesn't get closer than that, guys. 4 giveaways. 4. That's for you, Rob and Tyler and Crypto Anon and Crypto Billy and D Petty and all the mods in here. 4 giveaways for today. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for everything you do. And really quick, let's take a look at XRP. He's right back into the TA. I just can't. Oh, XRP back at 53 cents, baby. Let's go. Let's go. XRP back at 53 cents. And you guys know, the only reason I'm looking at XRP is because I know it's going to be short and sweet. What did we say? What did we say, guys? Hang on. Shout out to Punk Hazard. Not to be confused with Ham Wizard or Pig Magician, as I like to call him. This sounds Ham Wizard, Punk Hazard. I don't know. Anyway, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. He said, "Hey Frankie, mind telling me what you think of the XRP weekly pattern I just sent you on Twitter?" Guys, find me another content creator that will do this. And I'm not saying you're lucky. I am happy to do this. I'm just saying, like this is why the CandleMafia is lit. Like, I'm going to my Twitter notifications. Let's see. Let's see. Paul, Punk Hazard. I don't know what your name is on Twitter. Let's see. Let me see if I could do this. What? Oh, God, I'm not going to be able to find this, am I? Ah, man, I really wanted to do this. I'm also a boomer, guys. I'm also a boomer. I'm probably looking at it right now, and I just don't see it. Let's see. I don't know, man. I can't find it. Let's see. Dang, I don't know what your name is on crypto. It's just a retest of the bearish trend line. Calm down. We're first going down to form the Bitcoin cycle bottom. The bottom was never confirmed at 15K. Shout out to Grant P. You guys heard it here first. Grant P is going to call the bottom. Let's go. Grant P, stick around. Stick around, brother. Stick around. Hey, if we go to lower lows, I'm just saying, Grant, I pray that you're right, bro. I pray that you're right. I really, really do, because I would love Bitcoin to drop to new lows. All right, let's see. I don't know, guys. I'm just chilling. We got 500 people in here. It's kind of like the after party. Let's see. Bitcoin pumping right now. Yes, it is, as XRP is as well. Yeah, get another push up for Bitcoin, guys. The bulls are back, baby. I'm just kidding, guys. We have the levels we just talked about. It's all still relevant. I don't want to freak anybody out. She is pumping, though. She is pumping. Look at her go. All right, let's go ahead and see here. Okay, guys, I think that's all the time we got. I am sorry, Punk Hazard. Oh, it's Mr. Doodoo Gamer. Okay, hang on. We're gonna help out Mr. Doodoo Gamer. He's so funny. All right, let's see. Oh, Mr. Doodoo Gamer. I got you. Here we go. Shout out to Mr. Doodoo Gamer. Hopefully I didn't just give you guys all my seed phrases. This is a really popular thing that a lot of people talk about. It's essentially like a symmetrical triangle. And yeah, it does look like it's starting to break out. Yeah, I will say that red candle at the end of that, it's hard for me because I'm not really here, let me pull it up actually. Real quick. Kevin's Awake says 13K, baby. Let's go. Hey, that 55% dump off of that 2-week red dot brought us down about 50%, brought us right down to 13K. Hey, would be interesting. I mean, it would make sense. Again, I do think that the bottom is more likely in than not, but that doesn't mean that the bottom is 100% in, but it also doesn't mean lows are 100% coming in. So, but anyway, this is basically what Mr. Doodoo Gamer, if that was the name, is looking at on the weekly. I'm going to try to get this accurate. I think he's looking at this. I don't know. It's something like this. Some kind of a symmetrical triangle. Oh, yeah, it's this. It's actually this. But you can't. So annoying. Hang on. Let me get rid of that. Let me get a boom. So this is what he's looking at. But yeah, I will say this. I mean, just like on Bitcoin, this would be a bullish candle. But you have all week to change that candle. So you could get a breakout, retest, and then maybe you break up. Potentially. But I would also be careful of kind of hard. I don't really look at this kind of stuff. But yeah, it could be a potential breakout and a retest for sure. But shout out to you, man. I just did that for fun. But guys, with all that being said, Bitcoin's got some heat right now. Oh yeah. But guys, with all that being said, that is all the time I got for today's live stream. Let me go ahead and pull up our face cam here. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. Thank you all for who hung out all the way till the end of the stream. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for hanging out and doing 2 hours of TA with us. It's crazy. It blows my mind that people are that interested in TA just in general. But, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, I mean, maybe we'll be at 80K by tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, Bitcoin just does not want to stop. I will tell you this. It's really funny. It's like I would be so pumped about this pump because we had just put out the bull market is the bull market confirmed video out, which again was not me saying the bull market is happening right now, but you know, we were feeling pretty good, right? And then we got the breakdown, came right down to our key level, and I even posted the setup and missed it and didn't FOMO in, and it bit me in the butt. And that'll happen sometimes, guys, but I will tell you this right now, as upsetting as that is, I am still in those swing longs, so I'm still making money, but let this be a lesson to you guys. I am not FOMO'd into this long position, and I'm totally fine. I'm just joking, right? Like, it doesn't really hurt me that bad. I know it's going to come back down at some point, and maybe I'll catch the short. And if it doesn't come back down, I'll wait for a higher low, and I'll look to long that. But, guys, there's always another opportunity. Do not FOMO into your trades, and take this situation that I just explained to you. I missed that long position, right? I missed that long position, and I saw the setup and was like, hey, look at this beautiful long position, and then just missed the entry, right? So I'm not freaking out. I'm letting her go. Sometimes you got to let the ones, this is the one that got away, right? You win some, you lose some, and sometimes you just miss it. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got. Frankie Candle's out. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know my outro. That's all I got, guys. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candle's out. Bing bong. Hey, guys, I don't know how I forgot this. I don't know how I forgot to mention that, honestly, one of the most bullish things about this move to the upside, if this is going to continue up, something that I didn't mention is, I see you guys talking about it in chat, and it's a great point. I meant to say this. The fact that we got the news from on Binance yesterday, right? Price absolutely dumps. And then Coinbase comes out, the Coinbase news comes out, and we bounce. The fact that that did not nuke the price further could potentially be extremely bullish, unless it was just people taking all those altcoins and swapping it into Bitcoin, and that was kind of the pump. But the fact that that Coinbase news did not absolutely nuke us today, you cannot argue, may be very, very bullish. And also, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys. I see you guys showing love. It really means a lot, guys. It goes farther than you think. So yeah, shout out to you guys showing love. Shout out to Emax gifting another membership. Shout out to you guys. We love you, Frankie. You're the GOAT. You're an amazing dude. Very entertaining and informative. Shout out to Frankie Candles is the GOAT. Oh my God, that avatar, man. That is the most embarrassing picture of me ever. But I support it. Shout out to the CandleMafia. I truly love each and every single one of you guys. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being the best community. I feel lucky and blessed every single day to be able to wake up and do what I love with the coolest people that I've ever not met in my life, digitally met in my life. But that's all I got, guys. I'll see you mañana. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Bing bang.
Tyler Ramos.